Good evening, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Crunch Time Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joe Hamilton, along with Coach Daniel Braun, Melville Panthers. Dan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. I'm going to give you the floor here. Describe this season using your words.
It was an up and down year. We had high expectations going in. Our expectations were to win a district championship, and we did not, meet those expectations. We had some struggles, wins, losses, not what we wanted it to look like. I felt like we got better throughout the season. We kept making improvements. Even going into districts as the 3 seed of a 4-team district tournament. I felt pretty confident in our ability to still come out of that and win a district championship. We just weren't able to get it done.
Weren't able to get it done, and you knew this was going to be somewhat of a transition year, though, coming off of, having those monsters that graduated as seniors. I mean, let's be honest, Davion, Dylan, Lamonte, and then you have some good players. You have some good building blocks. I talk about Eric Omer all the time. Talk about him because I know he kind of got into the fold a little late this year because of being injured. How did he fit in?
He ended up being one of our most important players, he missed our first several games, and then we kind of had to put him in slowly until he got comfortable recovering from that injury. But a lot of our offense went through him handling the basketball, him creating, opportunities to score for himself and for other players. So he was extremely important to our team.
What are some things that you wanted to clean up on, but you didn't this year? I mean, you had to have those where you needed to make adjustments and you didn't.
I think we just needed to do a better job, handling the basketball, taking care of it, really protecting the ball, not turning the ball over. I think we struggled to score at times, and that came from, shooting ability, that comes from natural athletic ability a little bit. But overall, we got better at those things as the year went on. We didn't get as far as we needed to by the end of the season.
Talk about that game against Oakville, the first round of districts. What did you guys in? Kind of the same things you've been talking about, the lack of athleticism. What is it?
We really struggled that game to get going. We started slow. They started very hot. We kind of dug ourselves in a hole. We had some guys get into foul trouble, some guys pick up minor little injuries, rolled ankles and such early on, and digging yourself in a hole in an atmosphere, where it's do or die. It's very, very tough to recover from, and we weren't able to recover. We had some runs, made it close again. Then towards the end of the game, they were truly able to pull away and make it look like a little bit of a blowout.
What were some of the things that were good that you can take away from this season, and what's it going to look like going into the off season, hopefully having a normal type season next year?
Right. A huge thing was gaining experience. You mentioned earlier a couple of those guys that graduated, they took Melville to back-to-back quarterfinals, further than the school had ever been. The talent that left was tremendous. So what that meant for our current guys is they did not get to get the varsity experience during their sophomore and junior years, which is something that is huge as you're, building a program that, you want that continuity of, you want sophomores getting playing time, you want juniors contributing, so their senior year they're more prepared. Just the circumstances of how, extremely talented that group ahead of them was, there weren't opportunities for them, so this year gaining that experience, we had 6 juniors get a lot of playing time. We had a couple sophomores get some varsity experience. We had a freshman get some varsity experience, a couple other freshmen, get to practice with the varsity team. That experience is really going to help us moving forward. And then, like you said, the hope is that, we can have a more normal season next year. we didn't get much of an off season. We didn't get to play any games last summer. You know, in a normal off season, a high school team might play 20 to 25 games, going to different team camps and tournaments and things like that. Those were opportunities that were not available to us last summer during the pandemic. And, you know, having a new coach, new system, and a whole lot of guys with not a lot of experience to not get that extra time in the summer to play together and learn how to play together a little bit, you know, that definitely set us back. So the hope is moving forward that those opportunities will help us out.
What can you say about these juniors going into seniors? You have Nick Seitz, you have Eric Omer, who's actually, I believe, only going to be a junior. He'll be a senior.
Yeah, Joe, I'm sorry. He'll be a senior next year. Nick Seitz just great. You know, he just finished his senior season, so
That's
great.
That's crazy, man. Yep. It really is. I mean, you're gonna have Eric Omer back for his final year. Joey Barrett's gonna be back. Some of these guys, you got some sharpshooters on this team. What can you ask these guys to work on in the offseason? You know, that just to stay in shape and do whatever you can.
Yeah, so we actually had two seniors this year. Nick Seitz and Joey Barrett are both graduating. And just a quick word on those two. I was looking through some of their stats from this season. It looks like, you know, they both have a chance. I got to crunch some numbers still, but they both have a chance to get into the Melville record books as far as three-point shooting. So like you said, some sharpshooters, they could shoot the ball. You know, they might enter that top 20, top 10 of all time of, you know, Melville three-point field goals. So losing those two is going to be very tough. As far as our junior class moving forward, yeah, the thing is we need to get them in the gym. There are, you know, individual skills that all of them need to improve at, and those are different for a lot of them. Those are the same for a lot of them. And our coaching staff is going to work with each and every one of them as much as we can through this off season, you know, make those improvements necessary.
Yeah, make those necessary improvements. Now, I kind of want to transition a little bit from Melville because I know you're a basketball coach. You watch a lot of basketball. What are you looking forward to in these tournaments, man? Because it's going to be about some fun basketball coming up.
Right. You know, when I haven't gotten a chance to watch as much college basketball over the last few weeks as I've wanted to.
Now you get the chance, though, and you've kind of been paying attention a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I get some more free time now. So, you know, my biggest thing when I'm watching college sports, when I'm watching professional sports, I want to be entertained. I want games to be tight. I want to see guys really, you know, playing at a high level. That's what I love to see. You know, I don't, you know, I got, you know, a couple of teams that are my favorite. I'm a big Blues fan, Cardinals fan. Outside of that, I just love seeing great competition. So especially tournament time where it means so much, really want those games to be exciting and watch some great things happen.
Yeah, watch some great things happen. I'm excited to watch, you know, what Mizzou and SLU can do. You know, SLU was a team that before the season started, we were thinking this is a lock for the NCAA tournament. Now, Earl Austin Jr. saying that maybe they'd have to win the A10 tournament to get into the big dance.
Right.
You see that happen.
You know, that's a crazy thing to even say because of how talented the team is and how successful they've been. But, you know, when they missed that almost a month of basketball, teams have played 8-9 more games than them. You know, we'll just kind of see how the selection committee handles that, you know. As far as what I've seen, they're definitely one of the best 64 teams in the country. They deserve to be there. But their resume looks, quite a bit different this year.
Because of COVID and everything else, yep.
Right.
So what do you see, or what are some of the teams that you look for in this tournament, in the NCAA tournament? I mean, Mizzou, SLU, and then you also have these other teams. Who are these other teams?
Gonzaga is a great team to watch. They got a bunch of future pros on that team. They are exciting to watch. I'm hoping that, you know, Gonzaga and Mark Few there can kind of finally pull through and, you know, get to that national championship because I think that that's a program that's consistently there. They do things the right way. They're a lot of fun to watch. That's one I'm excited to see. Illinois has been improving like crazy, so another local team there. You know, we're blessed right now in the St. Louis area that we got SLU, Mizzou, and Illinois all playing at a high level. You know, I could see Illinois doing some crazy things this postseason. So,
yeah, Illinois just pulled off a major upset in my mind, even though they were number 4 and Michigan was number 2. Not having Iota Zumu, that's tough. One of the best players in the country. Also, you talk about Mizzou. My opinion's changed on them because we've seen them have these types of losses every year, it seems like, since Conzo Martin's come on. Right. You know, you lose both games to Ole Miss. You can't do that. They've had some tough losses this year. And again, I thought this team, at least the way they started, I thought this was an Elite 8 team. I really did. Not saying they won't be, but
right. You know, they're a team that's frustrating to watch. You look at some of those losses, though, they were without their best player, which makes a big difference when Tillman missed about 3 games in a row. But, yeah, you're right. They have some losses that, you know, if you want to consider yourself a Final Four Elite 8 team, you know, they have too many of those losses that seem inexcusable almost. But we'll see how it plays out. You know, what it's going to come down to is what team is getting hot at the right time and make things happen.
We shall see how it pans out. And, Coach, thank you for doing this all season. I know there was a little bit of a hiatus there. That was on me. But otherwise, thank you for doing this. And hopefully this isn't how we do things going forward.
Right. Would love to have you be able to be back in the gym because I know you love being around the school. So anytime that we can get you back in, you are more than welcome. So we'll make it happen in the future.
Thank you so much, Coach. For Dan Braun, I'm Joe Hamilton. Thank you guys for watching all season long. We'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock for Crunch Time Nightly here on Amateur Sports or ASTV Productions. Until then, I'm Joe Hamilton.